Hey there, friend! This is take number 4. I have forgotten how to speak on camera, apparently. We are doing an on-location video today because I have been so unbelievably busy, and it's been kind of hard for me to show up and speak, so we are here right now. I'm at my farm, hanging out with my dog in a horse field, doing this for a couple of different reasons. For one, it's cold, which means that I'll get a faster video out, hopefully. He gets to hang out a little bit, and I get to hang out with him, plus I really love it here. So, last we talked, Charlie was going to the vet to get checked out. Thank you for everyone who thought of us and sent us well wishes and everything. He did awesome. I actually had a really interesting synchronicity happen on the way to the vet. So I had a dog named Bailey who unfortunately passed away last March, and it was probably the most devastating loss that I've ever had to endure, and hit me the hardest more than anyone or anything ever. I put my heart and soul trying to keep that dog going, but it's okay because she's still here. And sure enough, when we were heading down to the vet to take Charlie, there was a van that appeared next to us on the parkway, and it was Bailey Heating or something like that. They spelt it differently. We would spell it Bailee, but it still counts. She was there, and it was awesome. And Charlie did very, very well at the vet for never being there before. They had a scale. He's never been on a scale before, and he crushed it. He was so good. We did our step up, and he stepped up onto it. And then there was this little table that was kind of like an elevator table that he had to go on so he could be examined. He had to go on that 3 times, and he was great. He was so awesome. He was great for the vet, and everything is actually a lot better than I thought, which is great. They drew blood, and I also did really well. I'm very squeamish when it comes to needles and stuff, and they drew blood and did all the things with him, and I was, in a small little room with him, and my mom was there too. I had my emotional support mom with me. And we all did great. He did great. The blood work came back that the only thing that was a little iffy was his liver values and liver issues. It's not my first rodeo with that. My first horse, Braveheart, had liver issues, and I was able to bring him back from that, and the vet was not concerned with it. He just said, just give him some milk thistle, and he should be good to go. So with all that said, he looked at his mouth and saw that he had 2 of his teeth like fused together. It's very weird. I don't know how, we don't know how, but his mouth smells pretty bad, and I asked him, if it was worth having it extracted, and he said, it wouldn't hurt. And he's gonna be 12 this year, which is crazy to me. He's in amazing health. He's like a little rocket. He's been cooped up inside because the weather has just been atrocious here. It's been snowing every other day, as you can see in the background. It's just constantly snowing or icy, and it has been kind of unsafe to take him out and take him for walks. So he's just been kind of going stir crazy, which is why he's up here with me right now. But he's doing really well. They actually, when they were taking all of his vitals and stuff before the exam, I was telling them all about the stuff that he does, and like he's recovered from hip dysplasia and all this other stuff. And when they looked at his chart, they're like, oh my God, he looks half his age. They're like, he's got to be 6. There's no way that he's going to be 12. And I kind of wanted to be like, yeah, it's the power of energy, right? Because every time I'm meditating, he's in there with me, which is kind of crazy. Also super funny about energy. We got a Christmas tree this year. We went to cut down a Christmas tree, and my sister and her husband came and also cut down a Christmas tree from this farm. And also my sister's husband's cousin did the same thing too. And the 2 of them had issues with their trees dropping needles super fast, like really, really fast, to the point where my sister's husband's cousin actually had to go get another tree because when they got it home, it had no needles left. And we all got it from the same farm. And looking at my tree, we still have a whole bunch of needles on it, and they're like really strong on there too. And my mom saw my sister's tree yesterday because they put it out to the curb, and it has no needles left. So there's something to be said about this work. So anyway, Charlie, my sweet boy, is going on Tuesday to have this procedure done. And of course, the vet said that I had to be there holding him while they sedate him to keep him comfortable, which means that I'm gonna have to overcome so much of myself to be able to be a strong, supporter for him as they're doing this. And again, not my first rodeo when it comes to sedating my animals to get teeth work done. I need to be sedated, and of course Abigail needs to be sedated. She's not a fan of getting her teeth done. I'm assuming something happened to her at one point before I owned her. She's always been like this with like mouth things. So she also kind of had a rough upbringing, so I don't really blame her for that. But anyway, Tuesday he goes to get a procedure done, and then almost immediately afterwards I have a Reiki session scheduled for him and myself. So he's going to come back and recovered and the most amazing bubble of energy ever. So I'm really excited to have that done. Plus I'll have peace of mind of having his mouth taken care of. So anyway, there's been a lot of stuff that I have been processing and kind of working through on top of the monotony of just how ridiculously busy I've been. I've been working at 2 farms. I've had a podcasting job that I've been trying to work on as well. And I've been everywhere. And I've also been working on my engraving business, which I'm super excited that I sold some things on Etsy, and thank you so much to the friends who bought some keychains, who bought some of the animal keychains as well. I'm going to be very soon putting up watercolor prints too. I think they're 4x8s. I'm going to be putting up some lighthouses among some other things. I started to get into oil pastels, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to show here, sorry podcasting people, but on YouTube, I'm going to show on here some of the engraving stuff that I've done for people for Christmas. I had a lot of animal signs that I made. It just some really cool things and products that I'm looking to start making. And if anybody is interested in anything too, or has any questions, email me at HeyThereFriendYT@gmail.com. You can find that in the description. I really would like to get that going this year. I think it'd be so awesome and so cool. So my energy has been on that, and it's just been hard for me to kind of focus here. Plus I've just been going through a lot of change and growth on my part. I started tackling something that has scared me, which is Dr. Joe's first book, Evolve Your Brain. And I remember it was quite literally 6 years ago. 6 years ago, 5 years ago. It was 5 years ago. Sorry. It was 5 years ago on the first where I bought the original intensive and progressive courses from Dr. Joe, because I was really upset because my best friend didn't come over on New Year's, and I was feeling so in myself and codependent and lonely and sad and depressed. And I don't remember how I got onto his page, but I got onto his page and I got the courses, and it has changed my life since. And I remember like a couple of days later, I went out to Barnes & Noble and bought all 4 books for like $66 and like 60 something cents. It was really cool. And I dove into Breaking the Habit, saw how big Evolve Your Brain was, and was just like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever tackle that. I apparently did, because I had notes in it from, I guess, a couple of years ago. And so I started rereading it again. And it's interesting when you've done the work for, 5 years, because we're in 2026, how you've gone through a bunch of different experiences, and like you almost have to live in order to understand the work a little bit more, at least for me, in the way that my brain was. It's really interesting to going through all of this self-work and then having to be around my family and friends around the holidays, because what I'm starting to observe when I'm in a situation where I start to get uncomfortable with someone, I observe the pattern that's there. And instead of judging it or trying to correct it, I've learned to stop narrating it. And that has helped me profusely and profoundly. Big words. I'm trying to use a lot of less big words when I'm trying to make a point. Just get to the point. Oh. But anyway, I'm starting to see why I do certain things because of the different conditionings and patterns that I have, and learning that a lot of my issues are indeed conditions, and knowing that it is something that I have done to condition myself to be like this. So the biggest thing that has freed me immensely within the past month has been, I'm very dark right now, sorry, the lighting's weird. Anyway, the biggest thing that I have really surrendered to was that everything that I am experiencing is my doing. And because it's my doing, it means that it is my fixing, or I can at least surrender it to something bigger than me and have it change and be fixed. And also not from the ego, and also not changing it because I want change to happen. I want to become someone else because I want better for myself, and to not do it for an outcome besides getting to know myself more, getting myself to become closer to being a creator. And I've been doing that a lot with my anxiety. And in Evolve Your Brain, one of the best things that I have read, and it's within like the first like 5 or 10 pages of the book too, Dr. Joe talks about searching for pain. That when we wake up in the morning, we search for familiar feelings and emotions and patterns, and one of them is pain if you have chronic pain. And one of my things was I would always search for my anxiety. And if I can search for my anxiety, if you search for it, you're gonna find it. If you search for your pain, you're going to find it. So what if instead I started to search for a calm feeling or self-empowerment or confidence? So now what I do when I'm kind of just hanging out idly and I don't really have very much going on in my brain, and my brain wants to start doing dumb things, I stop and I go change. But then I also think, can I find calmness and inner peace? Where is that? And then I stop, and then I feel like an inner smile happens, and then I start to feel a little bit better. And it's really cool. And I'm starting to look for that instead of my adrenaline. So when I'm in like, some kind of anxious situation, I say, okay, where's the calmness? Where's the inner peace? And because I've done so much reconditioning of my mind, I'm able to find it that much faster. But it took me 5 years to get to this point. Like, I could not do this a year ago. I would fight and complain and give every single reason why. It's because this person did this to me, and because I didn't feel safe with this and all of this stuff. And I'm learning how to re-regulate my nervous system and to relax. I've also gone through I love the OG aggressive, progressive and intensive courses. I'm redoing those again. I love them so much. I love all of the information that's in there. And Dr. Joe says, I think it's in video 2 of the original intensive. There's only one intensive, but in the intensive, he talks about what adrenaline is and what pain is in our body. And it's essentially solidified adrenaline and energy that gets trapped in our fascia. And anytime that I'm in pain now, especially when I talk about like my chest, how like that area is always so tense and tight, it's trapped adrenaline. And I could feel how it gets stuck. So what I've been practicing a lot is, again, when I'm in an idle moment, not really doing very much, I relax my body, I relax my arm, and I just sit there and I just think to myself, everything's okay. Everything's fine. And like I said before, I've been working a lot on my inner narration and not narrating things at all. Not for the good, not for the bad. It just unbelievably neutral. Staying in the present moment and not trying to have things happen or achieve anything. It's just been very present and very here, which is another reason why it's been so hard for me to get on here, because I've lost sight of where I want to go with this channel. I'm still going to show up here. I don't know how often, but I don't want to run this channel from my ego and be like, oh my God, look at me. Like, it's fun to share achievements and stuff like that and to share my journey, but I'm trying to do that authentically. And it's been challenging when you have a bunch of people saying, use AI to do this, use these catchy buzzwords. And like, I see channels who use these catchy buzzwords because of course that's what the algorithms want, but I don't want to be like that. I want to be myself and authentic. And if I get 1 or 2 views, or even if I don't get any views and I just am able to get this out and process it, I know that it will help at least one person, whomever it is, probably my mother, which is totally okay. But I am not aiming for a high, I'm aiming for a here and a present. And at the moment, I don't know what that is going to look like for my future. But I'm really excited about it because I'm going to be able to discover more of myself, because every single moment, essentially, I'm literally becoming somebody else. My inner thought and inner dialogue is so different than what it was. So many things don't bother me as much. And these big things like taking my dog to get his tooth extracted and having to hold him during sedation, like, I'm so excited because he's going to feel so much better. And instead of worrying about myself, because I now know that I've conditioned myself to get scared and want to pass out in situations like this. Like, that's just a condition. There's nothing wrong with me. And I can work through these sensations because I could just keep telling myself, change. I'm looking for peace. I'm not looking for this adrenaline. And I know how to work with myself now because I've meditated and I've gotten to know myself. And it's been really incredible and awesome. And I'm excited to share more of these insights with you, friend. And I think I'm going to cap this video here at 13 minutes because my hand is frozen and it's really cold, and I think Charlie is about ready to I think he's ready to go home. I had a really interesting synchronicity happen today where there's a situation with a horse going on, and I wish I had more money because I would buy this horse, but I cannot. And this horse has been trying to leave the property. The owner has been trying to get this horse off the property for gosh, I've said goodbye to this horse 20 times now, at least 10 times within the past month. And I said goodbye again to this horse again this morning because he was supposed to leave and he didn't. And there's weird synchronicities around him. Weird synchronicities around him. So I was going to talk to the owner about something with him, like working with him. And I asked the universe for a sign. I was like, hey, big dog, could you please send me a sign as to if I should my god, words. If I should do this, if I should proceed and do this. And I thought nothing more of it. And I was driving up here, and there's a bridge that I've got to cross that goes along a canal. And as I'm going over the bridge, 10 red horses. These guys on 10 red horses come over the bridge. And I'm like, what the fuck? I guess this is my sign. So I've got some thinking to do about all of this. It's just really, this energy work and everything, life is so interesting, and I'm so excited to create with it. At the end of this video, I'm going to throw in some pictures too that I've taken of the horses and my dog, of just the winter weather that we've had. It's been so cool, so much fun. And if you would like to support this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Please and thank you. Be my friend. Let's be friends. And I've also got some You've Got Big Dog Energy keychains up on Etsy. A lot of people like them. I've been throwing in a little bit of extra goodies. And then I'm going to be selling some watercolor paintings, and eventually I'm going to sell my pictures engraved on wood. That's the next thing. So thank you so much for being here, friend. You've absolutely got this. Do not give up on yourself. You can do this. If I can do it, you absolutely can do it. And no matter what, just promise me you'll keep singing. Okay, friend?